In today's video, following on from my last video about working out TDEE and setting up your diet, I'm going to go through with you an example that I used for myself. So this is just an example of how I would set up someone's diet for the goal of muscle gain. From the last video, you will have worked out your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. So this is the first thing we need to look at when setting up our nutrition. Last time I worked out, mine was roughly 2,800 calories. So that is the amount of calories that I need to maintain my weight. So I recommend you go and do that and find out your base level of calories that you need to maintain your weight, because this is really important. This is where you're going to start from, and from there you can move up or down depending on your goal. For muscle gain, we need to make sure that we are in a caloric surplus. We are eating more calories. The caloric surplus that I recommend is anywhere from 200 to 300 calories. The reason for this is because the higher surplus you go, the more likely it is that you will increase fat at a faster rate. So here we're looking for long-term gains here. This is not a short-term thing. So what would that look like for me? For me, that would look around 3,000 calories-ish. 200 surplus, I'll be looking at 3,000 calories. So I've done all these calculations below for 3,000 calories. So first thing I'll do is work out my calories, because my calories is the first thing, and it's the only thing, and it's the main thing that influences weight loss or weight gain. That simple. So it's the first thing that I work out, and it's the first priority that I'm looking at. Second is my protein intake, or my protein target. This is what I go to next. We need enough protein in our diet to support the muscle tissue that we are trying to build. So you're in the gym, you're working out, you're hitting those weights, you're breaking down muscle tissue. Now we need protein to repair that muscle, get bigger, get stronger. So protein is where I'll look next. So we need sufficient protein in order to help our muscle regenerate, get bigger, get stronger. Anywhere between 25 and 30% is okay. Some people go higher than that, cool. But I go between 25 and 30%. So for this example, I've gone for 25% of my total calories. So what would that look like? That would look like 188 grams per day. Don't get too upset if you don't hit this every day. That's fine. If you get even within 20 grams of that, that's fine. As long as you're getting near to that, that's cool. As I said, anywhere between 25 and 30% of total calories is fine. Next is our fats. Again, I've put at between 25 and 30% of total calories. The reason for that is because if we go too low on our fats, one, fats are an energy source, and two, fats help, or they're the predecessor of testosterone. They help with testosterone development. And as we know, testosterone is an extremely anabolic hormone. So do not eliminate your fats. So again, I've chosen 25% of total calories, which look at 83 grams. Now, carbohydrates. When I'm setting up someone's diet, this is how I do it. Calories, protein, fats, and the rest of it I fill with carbohydrates. The rest. Again, 40 to 50% of total calories. Sweet. I've gone 50% because 25, 25, 50, 100%. So I've gone for 50%, and that looks like 375 grams of carbohydrates. That's it. That's how I would set up someone's diet for the goal of gaining muscle. The most two important things when it comes to your diet is making sure that your calories are in check and that they match your goal. Good, we've got that. Next is your protein. We need our protein to enable our tissues to come back and repair. So as you can see, I'm not demonizing any of the macronutrients we see here. Every one of these macronutrients, protein, carbs and fat, each have their place, each have their equal place in your diet. You should not reduce any, in my opinion, you should not reduce or take away any macronutrient, because they each have their own benefits. And if you take one away, your others have got to, you're jeopardising the others. So now we've got all that set up, the next thing to do is to make sure that we're hitting those numbers, roughly those numbers. Don't worry too much if you don't hit it all the time, that's absolutely fine. As long as you're in a surplus, you're going to be gaining weight, you're going to be, and as long as you're hitting roughly the amount of protein, you're going to be gaining muscle. And if you're hitting the gym hard, you're going to be breaking down that muscle. So the next thing to do is to track these. Don't have to track them, it's just a good idea to, because then you'll know where you're at I mean, don't track, you can track in the short term, so you get an idea of what it takes to eat all that food, and then once you get a good idea, you can then stop tracking, and you can eyeball it. You've got a good eye for what kind of food, how many calories it has, what kind of serving sizes, etc. Plug those figures into MyFitnessPal. I'll show you. So, go into MyFitnessPal, open up the goals section, plug in your calories, carbs, fats, like we've just done. So as you can see, that is on the board there. So I hope you found the video helpful, and just a little insight into how I would set up someone's diet for gaining muscle. Hope that was helpful, and tune in to the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, and look out for the next videos.